Anybody want to tell a 1-minute story to these folks about your business? Be brave. Anybody want to tell a 1-minute story on your business? Okay, so I'm going to go to, a guy just walked into the room. He's probably a speaker on the next panel. That's probably why. So Baye, raise your hand. So that guy just walked in. I'm not even telling you anything about him because I get to introduce him officially on a panel discussion. But that is a person who is being praised by our president. That is a person who's doing great things. He's building affordable housing in Brooklyn, and he's building a green, Lincoln Park Development Corporation. And why do I tell you that? Because I bet you that we're going to have that in Brooklyn. I bet you that St. Nick and the Business Development Center is going to be involved in building affordable housing. I'm quite sure that there's going to be financing involved that connects to property, and it's going to create green jobs. I'm quite sure that Corey is going to be involved in some of the financing there. And I'm telling you this because you're in a room, you're in Brooklyn, and you have to think about how your businesses can interact with that kind of organization. So if we were in Newark, where Lincoln Park is, I would tell you the cleaning person, I think there's someone in this room with a cleaning organization that's cleaning products green, you'd want to get involved with that at inception. This gentleman in construction, you'd want to be involved with that at inception. So, you know, it's not every minute that a movie star walks in the door, so I have to single him out. But the truth is that that's where you want to be thinking about in Brooklyn. So now, is anybody braver now that I single out a movie star? Yes, thank you.
I started a
green home cleaning, that's terrific.
Green home cleaning, and I'm in the very beginning of it, so I don't have staff.
That's great. But you know, I bet you know your value proposition. What's your value proposition? Why should someone use?
I would like to provide affordable, green home cleaning should not be a luxury. So I'd like to provide affordable service at a very high standard from providers that do care about the environment, that are able to articulate and consult for the clients.
And you're going to do this in Brooklyn?
In Brooklyn, my focus is Brooklyn.
Are you going to serve communities that are already spending money on that kind of service?
I'm sorry.
Are you going to do this in a community that's already spending money on that kind of service?
Yes.
That's good. That's terrific.
But also, yeah, in a community that's already spending money on that kind of service, but also people that have not really considered it because they do consider it a luxury at this point.
So
I'm expanding it.
So I would just suggest when you talk to a panel like this, tell them what people are paying now for a similar service. And now green is so in, and you're using filtered green supplies from companies like Green Depot here in Brooklyn. You're providing hyperallergenic, is that the word, supplies, cleaning materials that don't make you have asthma and all these allergic conditions, which is a big thing in an urban community. There's a woman on the next panel in the next session, I think, Patricia, who African-American woman 20 years ago before green was in, built a hyperallergic soap product. And she's a star. It worked, and because she keyed into a value proposition and she sold it. She said, you don't want to get sick from your cleaning supplies. Buy this. This is the way to go. And then find out from a local business development organization what they can do for a woman-owned business and how they can support you. But when you speak to folks like this, it's the market, what people are spending, and why you think you need some money. And by the way, you may not need a lot of money. Maybe you need $25,000 for a business rollout, marketing, initial supplies maybe you'll get for free from one of the great supply chain people, some of whom are downstairs as vendors in the room below. Anybody else want to take a shot and tell us a little bit about your, yes sir?
All right, I didn't plan on doing this, but basically my business is global media oriented. And there's parts of it that I really can't talk about because like I'm in the middle of signing non-disclosure agreements and contracts and stuff like that. But the reason why I started it is partially actually a very high percentage personal, because on some level I always felt that it's something that I wanted to do. It's related to India and it's related to the United States and it's basically involves talent from both countries working together to create content, which in my mind going forward, I think the world in general is more interested in finding out about other cultures. And I think as you see just content and media in general, you just see more multicultural content. The reason India is because I was born there and I have this, real interest in being a part of the growth there. And I just think the media industry there is actually one of the fastest growing in the world. But the industry there has grown so quickly that they don't have the infrastructure of talent that the United States does.
Do you have your own money or that of others in the business already?
Yes, I already have a business partner who is very, very well respected. He was like the angel.
So if you want more money,
yeah,
tell these folks, I've got money already invested, and tell them how much, and then ask them for more or the same.
Do we do this right now?
No, you don't have to. Not asking this right now. But
I see what you're saying. I think that makes sense.
Did you want to tell us something? Were you in the business plan competition below?
I was.
Good for you. Everybody clapped for you. I didn't get to see the presentation. That's great.
To everyone, we had done a plan. My name is Lauren Talbot. My company is Local Labels. I have a business partner. I serve as the vice president. And we have an e-commerce site called locallabels.com where we feature gift and specialty foods that are all made in New York City. So all our products have to be within the 5 boroughs. We had done our business plan about a year and a half ago, and it shifted dramatically. So the plan and the 6-week seminar really helped us hone in specifically, even down to that dollar figure of what we need. And basically, now I'm in the market for specifically $18,000 to open a kiosk in Grand Central right now. We've been offered a lease there, and basically knocking on doors because the banks don't want to give right now.
Great. So I'd like to speak to you after this. And anyway, let me tell you something interesting. So we heard some buzzwords there. We heard local, right? She's selling something with New York in the thing. New York has some terrific resources. We heard in our keynote address from Seth Pinsky of EDC, and he told everybody that the tourist industry did, 47 some odd million people a year visit New York, and we're #1 in the United States in terms of visitors, but it's all about selling and protecting the local economy. So some resources regarding local living economy and how and some of those value propositions. One is Bali, B-A-L-L-E. There are Balis around America. Bali stands for Business Alliance for Local Living Economies, and their website is livingeconomies.org. And they're really about a keep it local, keep it in New York, that kind of campaign. They helped us in Queens, and many businesses thrived with their outreach. And so you've got something there, and I think that sounds very exciting.
Local chapter.
I'm sorry?
We have a local chapter for sustainable business.
Right, the SBNYC, sure, and they're pretty strong in Brooklyn. So those are resources of just cultivating people, and you might find angels within those organizations as well.